As we approach the 2024-25 NBA season, anticipation builds around the league's brightest young stars. None shines more brilliantly than Victor Wembanyama.
Shot clock is off. Wembyama goes right by Durant. Oh!
The towering French phenom who took the basketball world by storm in his sensational rookie campaign with the San Antonio Spurs. Fresh off a season in which he claimed Rookie of the Year honors, made the all-defensive first team, and led the league in blocked shots, Wembanyama appears poised to dominate the NBA for years to come. However, not everyone is ready to anoint the 20-year-old as the league's next unstoppable force. Hall of Fame center Shaquille O'Neal recently made waves when he declared on the Pat McAfee show that Wembanyama isn't a dominant player. The reason for Shaq's bold claim? Wemby takes too many jump shots. Shaq's assessment sent shockwaves through the basketball community and ignited a heated debate. Let's take a closer look at Wembanyama's unique skill set and Shaq's perspective to see if we can find an answer. To fully understand the context of Shaquille O'Neal's comments about Victor Wembanyama, we need to take a step back and examine how the role of the center has evolved over the years. When Shaq entered the league in 1992, the NBA was a vastly different place than it is today. The game was slower, more physical, and centered largely around big men who could dominate the paint with their size, strength, and interior scoring. Players like Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, and David Robinson were the prototypical centers of this era. These giants, often measuring over 7 feet tall and weighing well over 250 pounds, were the focal points of their team's offenses.
For Ewing, Ewing with the spin, Ewing, yes!
They would establish deep post position, receive entry passes, and go to work against helpless defenders, using an array of power moves, hook shots, and drop steps to pile up points and draw fouls. Shaq himself was perhaps the ultimate embodiment of this traditional center archetype. Standing 7'1" and tipping the scales at over 300 pounds, he was an unstoppable force on the low block. With his brute strength, nimble footwork, and soft touch around the rim, Shaq bullied opponents mercilessly, leading the league in scoring twice and powering the Los Angeles Lakers to 3 straight championships from 2000 to 2002. However, as the years went on, the NBA began to evolve. The rise of advanced analytics and a greater emphasis on three-point shooting led teams to prioritize spacing, ball movement, and perimeter play over the grinded-out style of the 90s and early 2000s. Suddenly, the lumbering giants who once ruled the paint found themselves struggling to keep up with faster, more versatile opponents. In response, a new breed of big man emerged, one who could stretch the floor with outside shooting, handle the ball like a guard, and switch defensively onto smaller players.
Again, Harden spins, Harden drives, stripped by Nowitzki, picked up by Harris.
Dirk Nowitzki was an early pioneer of this style, using his 7-foot frame and silky smooth jumper to revolutionize the power forward position. In the years since, players like Kevin Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, and Nikola Jokic have taken the concept of the skilled big man to new heights. It's against this backdrop that Victor Wembanyama arrives on the scene. At 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan, he has the physical tools of a traditional center, but with a modern twist. Wembanyama's game is built around his perimeter skills, his ability to handle the ball, create his own shot, and knock down jumpers from anywhere on the court. In his rookie season, he attempted 5.5 threes per game and connected at a respectable 32.5%, numbers that would have been unthinkable for a center just a decade ago. Of course, Wembanyama is no slouch in the paint either. With his length and leaping ability, he's a threat to catch lobs and finish over defenders at the rim. He also has a developing post game, with the footwork and touch to score on hook shots and turnarounds. But it's his perimeter skills that truly set him apart, and that have some wondering if he can redefine what it means to be a dominant big man in the modern NBA. So when Shaquille O'Neal questions whether Wembanyama can be dominant while taking so many jump shots, he's not just critiquing one player's game. To understand Shaquille O'Neal's perspective on Victor Wembanyama, it's important to first examine the lens through which he views the game. As one of the most physically dominant players in NBA history, Shaq's approach to basketball was rooted in a simple philosophy: impose your will on the opponent and never back down.
Olajuwon, that is his fourth. The crowd sensing the kill, but O'Neal.
For Shaq, This meant using his massive frame and explosive athleticism to establish deep post position, demand the ball, and punish defenders with an endless barrage of power moves. He had little patience for finesse or perimeter play. In his mind, the key to success was to be the biggest, strongest, and most relentless force on the court. This mentality served Shaq well throughout his illustrious career. He led the league in scoring twice, won 4 championships, and earned 3 Finals MVP awards, all while playing a bruising physical style that left opponents battered and bruised. For him, dominance was synonymous with owning the paint and breaking the will of the opposition. So when Shaq looks at a player like Victor Wembanyama, a 7'4" phenom with a slender frame and a penchant for perimeter play, it's understandable that he might be skeptical. In Shaq's mind, jump shots are a sign of weakness, a bailout option for players who can't handle the grind of playing inside. True dominance, he believes, comes from embracing the physical nature of the game and imposing your will on the opponent. There's certainly some truth to Shaq's perspective. Throughout NBA history, the most consistently dominant big men have been those who owned the paint and punished defenders with their strength and power. From Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Shaq himself, these giants imposed their will on the game through sheer force and relentless aggression. However, it's important to recognize that the game has evolved since Shaq's heyday. With defenses more focused than ever on protecting the rim and walling off the paint, even the most physically gifted centers can struggle to score efficiently from close range. Developing a reliable outside shot has become a necessity for modern bigs looking to keep defenses honest and open up driving lanes for themselves and their teammates. Moreover, the idea that jump shooting and dominance are mutually exclusive is a bit of a false dichotomy. Some of the greatest players in NBA history, from Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant to Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry, have been elite perimeter scorers who also possess the physical tools and mental toughness to take over games. The key is finding a balance between inside and outside, power and finesse, physicality and skill. This is where Victor Wembanyama's unique skill set comes into play. While he may not have the brute strength or low post dominance of a prime Shaquille O'Neal,
Sixers that knocked us out of the playing game, right?
Yep. Oh, Wemby!
his combination of size, length, and perimeter abilities give him the potential to impact the game in ways we've never seen before. His ability to score from anywhere on the court, protect the rim, and create mismatches all over the floor makes him a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses. Of course, Shaq is entitled to his opinion on what constitutes dominance in the NBA. As someone who achieved greatness through sheer physical dominance, he has a unique perspective on what it takes to be the best. But in today's game, with its emphasis on versatility, skill, and perimeter play, the path to dominance may look different than it did in Shaq's era. So while Wembanyama may not fit the traditional mold of a dominant big man, his unique skill set allows him to impact the game in ways that few players can match. He may not be the physical force that Shaquille O'Neal was in his prime, but his ability to score from anywhere, protect the rim, and create mismatches all over the floor give him the potential to be just as impactful, if not more so. Of course, there will be nights when Wembanyama's jump shot isn't falling, or he struggles to assert himself in the paint. That's true of any player, regardless of their style or physical gifts. But the beauty of Wembanyama's game is that he has so many ways to affect the outcome, even when he's not scoring at a high level. His rebounding, shot blocking, and overall defensive impact can change the course of a game, even on nights when his offense is lagging.
Smith. Oh my! Blocked by Wemby.
Ultimately, the question of whether Wembanyama can be a dominant player comes down to how we define dominance in the modern NBA. If we're using the old-school criteria of physical strength, interior scoring, and sheer force of will, then he may fall short of the likes of Shaquille O'Neal or Hakeem Olajuwon. But if we expand our definition to include the myriad ways a player can impact the game, with skill, versatility, and a unique combination of size and finesse, then Wembanyama's potential for dominance becomes clear. In many ways, he represents the future of the NBA, a league where positionless basketball and versatile skill sets are becoming the norm rather than the exception. Players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, and Kevin Durant have already shown us the power of combining traditional big man size with perimeter skills and playmaking ability. Wembanyama has the potential to take that model to the next level, with his incredible length, agility, and scoring touch from all over the floor. Of course, potential is just that, potential. It's up to Wembanyama to put in the work, stay healthy, and continue to develop his game in order to reach the heights that many have projected for him.
Gotta be another word for that one. Destroyed.
But if he can harness his unique skill set and find ways to consistently impact the game on both ends of the floor, he has a chance to be a truly special player, one who redefines what we thought was possible for a 7-footer in the modern NBA. Shaquille O'Neal may not see it that way, but that's okay. The game is always evolving, and what constituted dominance in one era may not necessarily translate to the next. What matters is that Wembanyama has the tools, the talent, and the drive to chart his own path to greatness. One that blends the best of the past with the possibilities of the future. And for fans of the game, that's an exciting prospect indeed. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at the future of the NBA, be sure to leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. Do you agree with Shaq's assessment? Or do you think Wembanyama's unique skill set is the key to a new kind of dominance? And if you don't want to miss a single moment of the action, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll be the first to know when we drop our next breakdown of the league's biggest stories. Thanks for watching.